Do you think you're going to move to Serbia and find a job when you get here? Let me explain to you why that's probably not going to be the case. There's lots of economic challenges here, and it's probably best if you find a way of making money online before you move here. So let's talk about what that looks like and why you're probably not going to find a job in Serbia.
Belgrade Beat, the pulse of the city.
Hey folks, it's Eric from Belgrade Beat once again, and I'm here to talk about today finding a job in Serbia because, there's this old-fashioned thinking that still exists in some people's minds, unfortunately, that they're going to come to a country like Serbia and find a job when they get here. And I find it really old-fashioned, and, when I first moved here in the year, 2012, 2013, I had since realized when I first moved here previously for 3 months at a time in 2008 that that was not going to happen. I was not going to just find a job in Serbia and make enough money and have like working conditions that I could expect in my home country of Canada. It just was not the case. And so instead, I had to go on this journey of finding a way to make money online, and now it's going really well, and it's 2021, and I'm thriving with that, running my own business online, and thankfully, the world has sort of come my way with the pandemic in 2020, and now working online is like very standard. So let's first of all talk about the local economy here. Guys, it sucks. It really sucks. The local economy sucks. The business culture is bad. The bureaucracy is horrible. Everything related to work and Serbian people and all of this stuff is below the standard you can expect in the West or in countries that are successful in the East, like China, or even some parts of Africa, like South Africa, will have a more established business culture and more functional economy in some sectors than Serbia will. So there are a few exceptions to this, like the IT industry, but do not think that you're going to come to Serbia and you're going to find a job which will pay you enough and be a good career for you to live your life in Belgrade in the same way that you could move to London or New York or any Western city, basically, and find a job that will make you enough money to live. It's just not like that. I mean, there's many challenges, and we can talk about them later, like why the Serbian mentality towards business leads to a much less efficient economy, and why the economy is bad, and then all of the other economic factors, and like literally how low the wages are here, and how unsatisfied people are with their jobs, and the whole culture of business that creates. But that's for another video. What I want to talk about here is like, well, first of all, to drive in the fact into your head that you are not going to come to Serbia and find a job. No. And to talk about the alternatives and, to talk about maybe there are some sectors which you could come and find a job in. So, but first of all, let's talk about working online, because this is my favorite. In Canada, I was always a IT support technician. From 2007, when I started coming to Europe for longer periods, I realized that my profession could be done online very, very soon with like remote desktop and voice over IP and video calls and all that jazz. And so I started building that. Years later, I run a company called Support Adventure, which has more than 60 remote staff members in more than like 17 countries. I don't know the precise numbers right now, but it's big. But it all started from the fact that I wanted to live in Belgrade and I wanted to avoid the local economy. It was very important to me because I saw here that basically like people they'll fuck you over for small change. Companies won't pay on time. They fail often. There's a huge amount of bureaucracy that any company has to go through to get off the ground. And then there's other complications which I won't go into here. But working online is what you want to do, folks. Working online, meaning that you have a way to make money online. So I started in IT support. I found a job for 15 hours a week that paid me enough money to live here, which is, starting at $1,000 a month, let's say, is a good starter wage for starting your life in Serbia. You won't be living a life of luxury, but you'll be living a pretty decent life, and you'll have a place to live and food to eat. Upwards from there, yeah, it can be really good. So if you have at least $1,000 a month coming in from the internet, you can start your life here and get it going. I would say. Different things you can do online. Well, freelancing is unstable, so I would recommend you do what I did and find a company that'll hire you for like 15 hours a week and pay you enough to live here and something like that. Where to look? Well, if you're in a profession, talk to companies in the Western world that are successful in your industry. Send mass emails to them. The way I started was I found about 50 or 100 IT support companies in the UK because I had previously lived in the UK and I was, you know, I liked their time zone being one off from Belgrade. And I sent them all emails saying, hey, since I live in Belgrade, it'll be, affordable for you to have me work for you remotely. The only catch is I won't be able to come to your office very often. I'll be remote 99% of the time. So, and they said, great. One guy, responded, and I went to meet him in London, and then we made a deal. These days, this was in 2013, and these days people are a lot more open-minded to the remote working thing, actually. So, I mean, what does that mean for the future of remote work? You can find a job online that's remote, and you can, do it here. And, it doesn't have to be full-time. You can probably find a part-time job with a steady income of steady amount of work of 10, 20, 30 hours a week that will pay you enough to live here and still have some left over. So find a job before you come. There's lots more. If you're an IT support technician, look into my company, Support Adventure. And basically, we provide jobs in the IT industry. Do we have jobs in other industries? Not really. Occasionally, we get like an admin assistant position or a dispatcher, which is basically like a supervisory position where you don't actually fix the computers, but you essentially create the service tickets and assign them to technicians. So you can apply for that too, but it doesn't happen that often. And more and more jobs are online. You can do it. You can freelance, although I wouldn't recommend freelancing because it goes up and down, and you are always hustling for more work, and yeah. So, yeah, think about that. Another thing that people do online, and actually in a place like this, normally if I didn't have that in 2013, if I didn't have that IT gig going on online, I probably would have tried to teach English here. But now, in the remote working internet economy, you can teach English online for companies usually from China. So if you're a native English speaker or someone who can speak to a level that I'm speaking now, I would suppose that you could find a job online working with a company in China. The pay ranges from very bad to very good. I've heard of people who are doing very specialized things. Like, for example, a friend of mine, he is Serbian, he lives in Canada, and he has a specialty in a very specific type of mathematics, and he's getting $100 an hour for teaching that type of mathematics online for Chinese students. So if you have a specialty like that, something you know really well, a university degree in something, you might want to find an agency in China that specializes in that type of instruction in English online. But, lots of these companies pay like 10, 15 US dollars an hour, and that's, a really good way. If you can get 20 hours under your belt a week, at 15 an hour, that's $300 a week. That's more than enough to start your life in Belgrade. So, yeah, 15, yeah. So 15 to 20 hours a week, $15 an hour, you could have a life here. And, lots of free time as well. Now, let's talk about foreign companies and, NGOs and stuff like that. Basically, I would say that, the NGO sector here is very specific. Usually you have to have some sort of NGO experience, but there are, NGOs and stuff that do hire expats here at really good rates. And, the jobs might be very high competition when you're applying, but you can find it. I haven't done this because I'm, sort of a do-it-yourself type of guy, and I did everything I did myself, building up my business from scratch. So you could look, search, on various expat forums like the Belgrade Foreign Visitors Club, Expats in Belgrade on Facebook, and you can find these types of jobs, or just look at the website. Same with jobs from embassies. It comes around once in a while. If you, speak Swedish, you can maybe get a job at the Swedish embassy. That can work. You can find that type of job in Belgrade. And then the next one is the IT industry. So there is a really strong IT industry in Serbia that occasionally might be looking at hiring foreign people. You have to look around. I would expect that Serbian IT companies do hire foreigners in positions like sales and account management, but I don't know because I'm not in the Serbian IT industry. I'm in the UK US IT industry, so I don't really have much contact with them. But I have heard that sometimes there will be a software development house over here, and they'll hire one foreigner to sort of be like a project manager in software development, talk to the business people who have hired the Serbian team. They want to have one, if it's a company in the US, maybe they would hire one American guy to be here with the Serbian team and oversee the projects and stuff like that and be the main point of contact for the people with the money. I've avoided being in the development industry, me personally, because I don't really want to be the nerd to business translator. Everything I've done in the development industry has always been mismanaged in terms of expectations. The guy says it will take 20 hours, 60 hours have passed, and he's got a bunch of excuses on why he can't do it. And the people who are paying for it are super frustrated as well. And you're just in the middle trying to manage that expectation. And I didn't like that job as I dabbled in it. So that's why I'm in IT support, people working on help desks and helping people with problems. It's a little more human. It's a little less nerdy. It's a little less, having to deal with people who just sit on their computers coding all day. And there's more social skills and fun and social interaction involved in that. But the IT industry here, go around, talk to people. You might find a job there. Other jobs that have specialties and stuff like that. I'm not saying that you can't find a job in like a bakery, but the bakeries in Belgrade, most of them are run by people from small villages in Serbia or smaller cities in Serbia that come to Belgrade to make it because the pay is more than in the small town in Serbia. And if making 35,000 dinars a month is what you're looking for, and you can speak Serbian enough to work in that job, then you might be able to get that job. And 35,000 dinars doesn't go a long way, though. That's $350. And I told you that you should have at least 1,000 to start living here as an expat. So think about that. There's also cases where expats are sent from larger companies that are opening up a Serbian branch, like Microsoft, Gazprom from Russia. I believe they're from Russia. And, international hotel chains and all these different sort of international things that will open up here. You probably need to have experience in that company before you get moved here, but it might be possible that you might already be in Serbia and you might come across one of these companies that's opening up in Serbia and they put a public job ad for someone and you as a foreigner apply and you get some sort of, management position, opening up the Serbian branch of an international hotel or airline or you name it. That can happen, fairly easily, but I wouldn't count on it. So bottom line here is, folks, you can also open up your own business here as a job in Serbia. I mean, that's the last thing I will say is depending on the local economy here, as a business owner, can be a very unfruitful way of going about your life here. I would only come to Serbia and open up a business if you're willing to lose everything and you have other funds to live on while you lose everything. So say you've got $50,000 US to invest in starting a business here, and you've got another 50 to last you for a year or two while you watch your other $50,000 disappear. Honestly, guys, it's that bad. People have done it. I see stories constantly on the internet, on the expat forums, where people have come and lost everything. So if you're willing to do that and you think that poor Serbian people are going to put money in your business and you'll be successful, there's actually a chance that might happen. I'm not saying it hasn't happened. People have been successful starting international businesses here and making money. And then they've had other challenges because they're successful. So Cash from another country is king here, folks. That's what I'll say. If you can bring money from another country, be it China, US, UK, Germany, and find a way to either work yourself online, get the money coming in, or start a business where you're hiring Serbian people here to do work for foreign stuff, like a foreign business to business or a foreign business to consumer business, B2B, B2C. If you can find a way to get Serbs to do work, start a company that provides value over the internet or whatever, or some export business that exports goods, so you're exporting goods or services to the West, then you can do quite well, folks, because the cost of labor is cheap. If people are well managed and well treated here, they work very hard and they're great employees who, will be very loyal and happy working for you. However, it is, like a lot of work to get that sort of organization set up and get the people doing work and also to market it to the outside. So luckily enough, it's possible to build a business here and make that your job with Serbian labor. But I would just always recommend, as I've said many times in this video, do not depend on people in Serbia giving you money, because they're very bad at running the economy so that things are consistent. Things are, you can't depend on the Serbian economy to give you much bread. That's it. And that, in short, is why you're not going to find a job in Serbia, because every other business owner, has the same challenges of people fucking them over, not paying, whatever it is. Things here, it ain't like the West here, folks. It's just not. So you're not going to find a job here, although you might, as I explained in this video. And it's better if you find some way to get money flowing into the country from the outside. And I think this is what the government wants too. And they'll be happy to have you contribute to this economy by bringing money from the West here, hiring some people here, and all that stuff. Or just, working an online job and spending your money here, living and enjoying the Serbian society. So thanks a lot. Let me know if there's something I missed in this video. Tell me in the comments, ask some more questions. What would you like to know further about this topic and other topics moving to Serbia? If you like the channel, press the like button and press the subscribe button. You know the drill, folks. It's a YouTube channel. If you want to keep on hearing from me, if you want to keep on seeing these videos, you know what to do, and I'll see you in the next one. So thanks a lot. My name is Eric. This is Belgrade Beat, and I wish you best of luck in moving to Serbia.
Belgrade Beat, the pulse of the city.